The scratching inside the walls was moving toward me. I froze in the hallway of the abandoned Willowbrook Asylum. My flashlight beam shook as I traced the sound. It was getting closer, faster. Then it stopped, right behind the wall next to my head. I came here looking for content. I'm an urban explorer. I've been to dozens of abandoned buildings. But Willowbrook was different. Everyone warned me not to come here alone. The asylum closed in 1987 after multiple patient deaths. Deaths that were never fully explained. The building had been rotting ever since. I entered through a broken window on the ground floor. The smell hit me immediately. Decay. Mold. Something else I couldn't identify. The main corridor stretched into darkness. Patient rooms lined both sides. Their doors hung open like screaming mouths. I started recording. My camera captured the peeling paint, the overturned gurneys, the scattered medical files from decades ago. Everything was going fine. Until I reached the isolation ward. The temperature dropped 20 degrees. My breath came out in clouds. The isolation cells were different from the regular rooms. Thick metal doors, small reinforced windows, padded walls torn and hanging in strips. I approached cell 7. The door was closed. That was strange. All the other doors were open. I reached for the handle. That's when I heard the scratching. It came from inside the walls. Not the cell. The actual walls. Like fingernails dragging against the inside of the plaster. The sound moved. It traveled along the wall, heading straight toward me. I pressed myself against the opposite wall. The scratching passed right behind my head. Then it stopped. The silence was worse. I could hear my own heartbeat, my ragged breathing. Then I heard it. My own voice, whispering from the darkness down the hallway. It was saying my name, over and over. But the voice was coming from the wrong direction. I was alone. I spun around. My flashlight beam cut through the dark. Nothing, just empty corridor. The whispering continued. It was mimicking my voice perfectly. Every inflection, every tone. I started backing away. That's when the door handle of cell 7 began to turn. Slowly, deliberately, from the inside. The door creaked open, inch by inch. I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. The cell was completely dark inside. My flashlight wouldn't penetrate it. It was like the darkness was solid, thick. Then I saw the hand, pale, skeletal. It gripped the edge of the door. The fingers were too long. The joints bent wrong. Another hand appeared, then another. 4 hands, all emerging from the darkness, all pulling the door wider. I finally broke free from my paralysis. I ran. My footsteps echoed like gunshots. Behind me, I heard the door slam open, heard something crawling, multiple somethings, moving fast. The scratching was in the walls again, all around me, following me. I reached the main corridor, almost to the exit. That's when I saw them, standing at the broken window I'd entered through. Patients in hospital gowns. Their faces were wrong, eyeless, mouths hanging open too wide. They were blocking my escape. I turned back. The things from cell 7 were behind me, crawling on the ceiling, on the walls, moving like spiders, their elongated fingers scraping against the plaster. I ducked into a side room, locked the door. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely hold my phone. No signal. Of course, I could hear them outside, scratching at the door. But there was something else. Someone else in the room with me. I could feel eyes on my back. I turned slowly. A patient sat in the corner, motionless, staring at me with hollow eye sockets. Their mouth moved. My voice came out. Word for word, what I was thinking. They knew my thoughts. The door burst open. The creatures poured in, but the patient in the corner raised one hand. They stopped, frozen mid-crawl. The patient stood, walked toward me. I couldn't move. They reached out, their fingers ice cold against my face. And then I understood. This wasn't a haunting. It was a collection. The asylum didn't close because of patient deaths. It closed because the patients never left. They absorbed everyone who entered. Security guards, investigators, urban explorers. All of us. Absorbed and replicated. The patient's mouth opened impossibly wide. Darkness poured out. It wrapped around me like frozen water. I felt myself being pulled apart. My thoughts, my memories, my voice, all being copied, stored, added to the collection. The last thing I remember is watching my own body stand up, watching myself smile with someone else behind my eyes. I'm still in Willowbrook. We all are. Every patient, every victim, trapped in the walls, in the darkness, waiting. Last week, another urban explorer broke in. Young guy, came alone. I watched from cell 7, watched as he explored, as he recorded, as he reached the isolation ward. I scratched inside the walls. I whispered in his voice. I opened the door. We're always collecting, always growing. And if you're thinking of visiting Willowbrook, if you're brave enough to enter, we'll be waiting. We know your voice already. We've been practicing.